Hey, and in the next 8 minutes, I'm going to show you how I do an infill. So, my client came in after 4 weeks. She went for a nice natural nude color. So, first of all, I go in with my carbon drill bit. I use it on speed roughly between 7 and 8. This is just to debulk the old product. At this stage, I also go in with my carbon drill bit just to take off any length if my client has asked to do so during their appointment. I then start my manicure prep, so I use a cuticle softener. I place this on top of the cuticles on every finger. I will then leave for roughly 5 minutes and then I'll go in with my cuticle pusher. At the moment, I'm obsessed with this hook cuticle pusher. I have found that this just lifts the cuticle off of the nail bed so easily rather than having to peel it off the nail bed with a wooden stick or any of the other metal cuticle pushers. This one literally just lifts up so nicely. It is key at this point you use your tool slowly as you don't want to scratch any of the client's skin, as some clients may have delicate and thin skin around their cuticles. I then go in with my cuticle loop. This tool is key for all of my manicures. It is the tool that I wouldn't be able to live without. This is the tool that will get all of your cuticle off of your client's nail bed. So that extra white bit of cuticle that is left behind after you've lifted the cuticle up, that is what the tool does. Then at this stage, I like to shape my clients now. So I will ask them what their desired shape is. And this client of mine likes a nice round shape. So I will use my 240 grit file at a 45-degree angle just to reshape my clients now, as we are going for a nice round shape. We do not want to be going into the side walls, so the 45-degree angle is perfect for creating that nice natural round shape that my client desires, whilst also keeping those side walls fully intact. I will then repeat this shaping on all of my clients' fingernails. Now it is time to nip. So I use Glossify's 3mm nippers, as these are the first nippers that I ever used, and I am very comfortable with them, so these are the only ones that I use. It's now time for application, and as we are using hard gel, you have to use a base coat. So today I am using a microcrystal base coat from the same brand, Debulk. This base coat is perfect for any nails that don't require an additional cushioning underneath any gels, whether that is biab or hard gel. Then I then go in with the Light Sculpture hard gel from Debulk also. I am using the shade Soft Silk, and as it is winter, I like to use the Light Structure hard gel as it is more of a runny consistency and I don't need to wait for the gel to warm up before I apply it. As you can see, application, I take a bead of product, and like I said, because the consistency is more on the runny side, I just need to place a small bead of product just before the cuticle area, and then I float it down the nail. I then go in with my fine liner brush, which is what I'm doing now, and get that product nicely tucked up close to the side walls and close to the cuticle. This is what you will see me do now. I have kept this video in real time just so you can see how long it takes me to actually finish the application on one fingernail. I maneuver the product to exactly where I want it on the nail plate so that when it comes to refining after it has been cured in the light, it is a lot easier. At this stage of application, it is all about taking your time and making sure that the placement of the gel is exactly where you want it before you put it in the light to cure, because once you put it in the light to cure, to take it off afterwards, as you will have to file it off with either a hand file or e-file. So like you can see, I am just moving the gel up and down the nail, making sure I build the perfect apex for my client's nails before she places it in the light, because afterwards I will then have to go in and refine. But if at this stage you make sure that the gel is exactly where you want it and it is as even as it could be. Some people like to turn the fingernail upside down, but for me, just moving it with my fine liner brush is enough. because like I said, I will then go in and refine with a hand file. Once your nails have been cured in the light, you will need to use IPA to take off the inhibition layer that is left behind after it has been cured. So I just grab a lint-free wipe, spray some IPA onto my lint-free wipe and rub this down the nail. Then it is time to refine, so I go back in with my 240 grit file. Just as this is the softest file, I like to use it just to get rid of those mini little lumps and bumps that might be left over after application. Then I go in with my blocker buffer and just buff the nail to make sure it's all nice and smooth. Make sure you don't forget to go underneath the nail just to get rid of any catches or any gel that might have overspilled over the nail. Do this on every nail. After you have buffed every nail, it's time to go back in with your IPA and just scrub away any dust that was created from filing and buffing. Now, the final step for application is top coat. So I go in with a non-wipe top coat just to give off that super shiny end result that everyone wants from a manicure. After we have cured the top coat in the nail lamp, I then go in for one final file to seal the free edge of the nails and give that super crisp final look from all of my manicures. Then the final clean, so I go back in with my IPA and scrub away any debris from the last final file that we have just done. Now my favourite part, which is aftercare. So I like to go in with this vitamin E spray just to bring back all the hydration into my clients' hands after all of the IPA and light exposure. Then finally some cuticle oil, give that a nice good massage into my client's skin. And there we have it. That is a full from start to finish video of how I do an infill of hard gel on my clients. What do we think? Like, comment and subscribe and leave any comments in the box below.